Hello everybody, welcome back to the Aging Equestrian channel. It's Christy, and today I am going to show you part 2 of the How to Sit a Spook Beginner's Edition. I think that it's really important that we talk about how we can train ourselves to better sit a spook. Because there are a lot of people out there, a lot of trainers who can give you great advice on how to ride your horse through spook, what to do about the horse. But I'm really talking like bare bones minimum stuff that we really should be doing to stay in the saddle. The first video, check it out. It's really just about equipment, and I think that's something we don't talk about enough. Like, I literally didn't hear anybody else talking about sticky seat breeches and chaps and other equipment that makes you feel safe so that you have more confidence and actually gives you that little extra to stay in the saddle. So I think that's super important. Check that video out. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about something you might not want to hear, and that's like working out at home and stuff, or at a gym, or, you know, following some YouTube videos, because it's super important. Your body needs to know how to do things. So you have to train your muscles to do stuff, right? Like, we know that from riding. It's the same thing if you want to actually be strong enough to stay in the saddle, if you want to actually have your body and your brain trained to be able to hold on, you've got to put in a little bit of work. I'm not talking like a ton. I mean, if you do more, hey, good for you. But the very minimum, adding in, like, I've got 2 exercises to give you today. I can do more. I actually have more lined up if you want them. Just let me know if you do. I think they're really helpful. I'm a Nesta certified sport yoga instructor, so I can give you advice about yoga. I'm not a personal trainer, but I'm going to show you what my personal trainer has given me, and then you can take it to your personal trainer and see if it's right for you. Always check with your doctor before starting any physical activity. Make sure it's right for you, and do all of the exercises at your own risk. I'm definitely not responsible for anything that happens to you. Use caution. If things hurt, don't do them. Okay, spiel over. So, yeah, I've just got like 2 really easy exercises, and if you add those into your week, like a couple of times, you'll be that much stronger. So one of the best ways you can practice staying on a horse is with an exercise ball at home. And these are very cheap to come by. You can get them pretty much anywhere. You can get them at Target, Walmart. They may even have them at CVS sometimes. And you want to get one that's a good size for you. This one is actually a little bit bigger, but I happen to like it because I can keep my leg in more of a riding alignment. If I'm on the smaller one that's technically for my size, because I'm only 5'5", and I think it's like a 55 centimeter ball or something like that, if I'm recalling correctly, then I'm much closer to the ground and my leg is a little too bent. So I actually like to use a bigger one than is supposed to work for my height. And what I do, and again, this is on the recommendation of my personal trainer, so I don't know what your personal trainer will have you do. And once I talk to him about how we move in the saddle and what our alignment is supposed to be, he just went with the really simplest thing of, well then, balance on the ball. And so I try to keep my legs as I would have them in the saddle, with as close as I can get to having my ankle. Obviously my knee is not going to be in the line, but my ankle, my hip, my shoulder, and my ear. One of the biggest things about staying on a horse when they're spooking is to not crouch into a ball. We don't want that. We want to keep our upper body up. And I know it feels like we should hold on to something like this, but try doing this on a ball and see how long you can actually stay up. I dare you. Like, just go hop on a ball and sit there like this. It's a heck of a lot harder to stay in the saddle, and you're going to be frozen and thrown around a lot more than if you actually sit up and keep your hips and your shoulders as much in line as possible and keep your head and your chin in and back. What I like to do is start here in the most upright position possible, and then I physically move the ball. I'm moving it side to side, forward and back, and I try to stay as centered as possible. And I try to keep my elbows where I would want my elbows to be. So I try to mimic the riding position as much as possible. And I do that for a few minutes. I take a break. It's actually, you'll actually feel it. I feel it a lot in here because the way I sit on the ball is as if I were sitting on a horse, and I'm using my adductors, the inside muscles of my thighs, and trying to actually manipulate the position of the ball the way that I would be manipulating the horse's shoulders, or I would try to be keeping the horse's shoulders between my legs. So this is a great exercise to do at home. You can do this as many times a week as you want. I do a bunch of repetitions of it. It's really easy. So we're going to come into triangle pose. We're going to start standing. So we've done warrior 1 and warrior 2. I want you to come into what is warrior 2. So you've got a front leg. I don't care which one you pick, right or left. And that front knee is bent. It's directly over the ankle. The back leg is behind you. That foot is at a 90-degree angle to this foot. Okay, and we're starting with our core being engaged. So pull that belly button in, press your legs down and away from each other. Really kind of hold your weight into those legs. Inhale, bring your arms up by your, not by your sides, up and out, parallel to the floor. And then you're going to straighten the front leg, and you're going to reach as far as you can, keeping your shoulders like in a parallel line to the hips, but that front arm is reaching as far as it can, and you're going to let it come down toward your knee, and your other arm is going to come up toward the ceiling. You're not going to use your neck at all, but you're going to pretend you're holding a handle up here, and you are going to lift yourself using your core and your obliques, and you're going to bring your upper body up like this, and you're going to come back down. And this is a great exercise that you can do to strengthen your core, strengthen your legs, and to really challenge yourself. And if you think about this, this is exactly what we have to do if we get thrown to the side. If our horse spooks sideways, we've really got to be able to bring ourselves up from a sideways position in the saddle. So keep that belly button pulled in, and make sure your hips are not falling in and out. You are literally just moving the top portion. From here up is what is coming up and down. And you're going to do, I don't know, 8 of those if you can. And then you're going to switch sides. You're going to do the same thing. Make sure those feet are at a 90-degree angle. Make sure you're really pulling in that belly button, that your knee is over your toe before you straighten that front leg. And then you're going to reach that front arm out. You're going to just gently bring the arm down toward the leg. The top arm is going to come up, and like you're grasping a handle, you're going to lift your upper body up, and you're just going to pull yourself up. Even if you need to do this, you know, you're not really pulling on something, but you're lifting yourself up with these core muscles, with those obliques. Trust me, you will feel this tomorrow if you've not done this before. And do try 8 of them, and try doing this, you know, twice on each side to start. And then you can do more as you get stronger. So this is a great way for you to strengthen the sides of your body, and make sure you can stay in that saddle. To come out of it, just bend that front knee and then bring the feet in. Okay? So that will help you get very strong in the saddle.